Hello and welcome to today's Q&A with me, Chloe. Today's question is, how do you deal with social media in a crisis? By crisis, I tend to mean some sort of, nowadays it tends to be things like terrorist attacks, natural disasters, plane crashes, just horrible events that affect your audience. And that's exactly what my answer to your question is. Consider your audience and how it affects them. The best protocol is to just shut down your social media posts. That leaves no question, it leaves no room for judgment. You can't really do anything wrong if you just shut down everything. Now, if you've got content scheduled, the first thing to do is check if your scheduler has that option. Things like Buffer and Edgar allow you to pause your queue, or on Buffer you could just unselect the day so nothing goes out, and you can put them back up when it is an appropriate time to go back to social media. The other thing you want to do is check your content and make sure if any of the content coming up might be connected or related. You might want to take that out and play it safe. You always want to play it safe because, you know, when things like this happen, it really shakes the core of human beings. We come together collectively and it hits us deep. So you don't want to be seen to exploit in that or play into that or not even being considerate to that. So go through your content and check. A good example of this would be with some of the incidents that have happened in France lately. I was managing a travel clinic and some of the posts coming up were about just nothing to do with that, but just visit like France, and it was showing beautiful places in France and encouraging people to travel there. You don't want to be doing that when something awful has just happened, right? So just pay attention to your content. And you also, and this comes back to local as well. It could be a really local incident. Something could happen that really impacts your audience. Like if you're a local business and some sort of tragedy happens in your local area, absolutely bring it back to that. It always comes down to your audience and that putting them at the heart of it. By the same token, if something is totally irrelevant, and I don't mean irrelevant to us as human beings because we all want to consider that, but if it doesn't tie directly to your audience, don't play to that because it's exploiting something to get eyeballs on your content, and that is just not cool. And not okay. It's not okay as a human being to do something like that. So put your audience at the heart of it. Check your social media posts for the next few weeks. Make sure that none of them sort of conflict with that. If it is something that really, really is core to your audience, like really they're really at the heart of it, say it happened in your area, something like that, you may want to put out a post that says, thinking of everyone, hope you're safe. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. No fancy graphics, no links to your stuff. No exploit in this situation. You just put out a message from your heart to theirs to let them know that you're thinking of them. Now, the reason I go on and on about this so much is we see people putting graphics up with hashtags. We see people writing articles about how to deal with a social media crisis when that happens. And I get that. In some ways, it's the best time because it's when people are searching for. At the same time, those marketers are in a way exploiting something bad that happened to again get eyeballs on their content. Now I have a very restricted, I guess, or closed view on that. I don't think it's the right thing to do, which is why I decided to create this video today, when nothing awful is happening, hopefully, that is relevant or tied to my audience. But yeah, you don't want to exploit it. No jumping on hashtags, using hashtags. We've seen companies do this in the past and it never ends well. So when your intentions aren't pure or good, your audience are not going to buy into that. In fact, you're just going to turn them away because it's somewhat disgusting behavior. So I hope that is your cue. The real thing is just to use your common sense, right? You know what's right and what's wrong as human beings. We're people. At the end of the day, we're people. You want to consider your audience. Turn off your content if you need to. Think about the content that you're posting, and if it's really something close to home or at the heart of what you're doing, send out a very simple, clear message that shows you're thinking of the people involved. If you have any more questions, then please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to chat with you in the comments or over on Twitter at C4Compete. If you enjoyed this video and would like to know more, please do consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. Never forget that you have the power to change the world one connection and one conversation at a time. Much love from my heart to yours. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you soon.